Hello, my name is Babak, and I'll talk about random-induced transition method for expanding the comfort zone. Have you noticed that there are situations where we have to overcome a tremendous amount of fear and the negative stress, and and we go through it, but with a cost. Uh, uh, the cost could be a negative impact on our health, physical or psychological health. Now, in order to deal with this problem, conventionally, we can break the problem down into small pieces, more manageable components, and then take each step. And if you can combine it with meditation or other things to access the subconscious mind, and usually that works out fine because you can overcome that initial fear to go to that to go to like to be able to extend the comfort zone, or to get to that first stage. That if you overcome that first micro step, then after that it will be easier to overcome that fear or that challenge. But if you're a sensitive person like me, there are situations that even if when you break down the problem into small pieces, the initial step is also difficult. Have you noticed? However you break it down, then you have to go through that initial difficult phase, and overcoming that potential barrier is just, it puts a lot of stress, and we don't want that, because if we're going to have a lot of these in our lives, there should be a method that we could manage these difficult tasks. Now, the emotional intelligence, traditionally, they have a method where, in order to overcome a difficult task, even if it's like a small step, one way that is to tell yourself, well, I'm not going to do this task or initial difficult task for now. I may perform this difficult task in the future. So this is very important that we mentioned that phrase. We're going to take care of this task. We might do it in the future. So this, now there's no stress here, because you're not worried about doing this task. So you're just telling yourself that in the future you might do it. So now, then we can just perform tasks that makes us extremely happy, like helping others, or doing something productive, things that we will enjoy a lot. And well, you wonder, how is that going to help us with overcoming that fear, that fear um, to basically take that step to go to the first comfortable performance centroid zone, or how is that going to help us extend the comfort zone? How is that going to help us challenge that problem? Well, the thing is, when a person is engaged in tasks and activities that makes them happy, and they overdo it, subconsciously, they may end up performing random actions, other things, because when you're happy doing something, for some reason you get the courage to do many other things. But the point is, still, you're not aware that you might be doing that difficult task in the first place, because you only told yourself that in the future I may take that initial step, or I may perform that difficult task. So you're just happy because you're doing what you like, and you're just engaged in that fun activity, and you're overdoing it, exaggerating it, and you're also being productive, and whatever makes the person happy, and for some reason you end up performing extra random actions, things you would have not done if you were not engaged in that fun activity on the first place. So now, this method, it may not have like a fast response, so it may take a while, but it's okay, because if this method, if a person becomes successful, at least they won't have any, they don't have to go through this emotional trauma, or they won't adversely affect their health condition. So how does it work out? So you end up doing things you like, and you overdo it, and you constantly do it, and you feel happy about contributing to yourself and others, and all of these happiness. You also end up doing a lot of other random actions because you're so happy doing what you like. And those other extra actions, after a passage of time, one of those subconscious actions would be basically the difficult task that you wanted to do, the difficult initial step on that difficult activity, and you won't know about it. So you keep on doing what you like, and you're happy, and you're excited, and and that your motivation is boosted, and this extreme happiness and joy without any stress. You'll be surprised that in a period of time you end up doing subconsciously that difficult task, or that initial task. And I think this is a good way to overcome that initial barrier, or that initial fear of taking that difficult task, because many times many of these challenges, even when you break it down into steps, that initial step could be very difficult for many reasons. So this method is a good method where you don't tell yourself, I gotta do this difficult task if I want to be successful, or no, you don't say that. You say, maybe in the future I'll take that step. And so your subconscious mind is ready to take that step, but it's not being forced. You're not being forced to do it. But once you do something which you're happy, you end up also doing other if you overdo what makes you happy, that emotional feeling, that this is a part of emotional intelligence. This is one of the great benefits of emotional intelligence. When you're so happy, excited, you end up doing also other things you would have not even imagined before. And one of those will be that difficult task that you wanted to do. And once subconsciously you take that difficult task, then you would realize that you have taken that difficult step. You have expanded your comfort zone without you even realizing it, and without any stress, without adversely affecting your health and mental condition. And 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 I think for people who are also sensitive like me, this is a good method for overcoming that fear and expanding the comfort zone. And because many times, if you have that fear and you don't if you don't go by this approach and you try something else, it may have like a very adverse effect on your emotions, on your health, and or you will have a lot of negative stresses, which is not good at all. And you might not even do it because you fear that the experience is just overwhelming. But now with this method, it is possible to overcome many fears, and it may take a while, but at least you would end up overcoming that fear or that challenge. Well, thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.